Now it's really important that you know how to level your aquarium, because in general the main reason why an aquarium will leak is either the sloppy manufacture of the tank, so the quality of the silicon, how well they clean their surfaces before they use silicon. So obviously quality of manufacture is one issue, quality of silicon used is one issue, but the main issue above everything is ensuring that your surface is completely flat. So when you set the tank up, the first thing you want to do is rock the tank, and if you feel any rock in the legs, then you've got to assume that it needs spacers. So then you just get some spacers, you put the spacer under the leg that requires chocking, to make sure that when you rock it, there's no leg rock. You can sort of feel, if you rock a tank, that all the legs are well stable on the floor and that none of the legs are elevated. If the legs are elevated, you do need to chock the elevated leg to ensure that it's a totally flat surface. The next thing you then do is either get a spirit level and lay the spirit level across the tank, front to back and left to right, and the spirit level will allow you to see whether your tank is level. If your tank is not level, you need to put spacers under the legs appropriate to ensure that your tank is flat. Because if you can imagine that this aquarium was on a slight angle, like 1 centimeter even, then instead of the weight being evenly distributed across the silicon, then you get weak and strong points, or more so weak points, because the tank is not completely square. So then if it's not completely square, the pressure along the silicon join is going to be uneven, and the chance of leaking is very significant. The way that your tank will usually crack, if your tank cracks, then it will normally be because the base is not completely flat. If it's on a base that's why most people, you need to put polystyrofoam or something absorptive, like this rubber, underneath your aquarium to ensure that the base is completely flat. If the base is not completely flat and there's a little bit sticking up or whatever, that's the main reason why your tank will crack. If the base is completely flat and it's not completely flat, then the tank tends to leak. The other thing that tends to happen too is if your base is not completely flat, then the center bridge will go, because most aquariums will have a center bridge in it, and if the tank is not completely flat, then the weakest point is often the center bridge. So then the center bridge will drop, and then the front glass will bow, and then a period after that the tank will actually give way. And normally when a tank gives way, it is one of its silicon seals will go, and then that will relieve the pressure. It doesn't sort of usually explode or anything like that. That just doesn't happen. So at the end of the day, make sure that your base is completely flat. Make sure you have polystyrofoam or rubber to take up any irregularities in the stand, because irregularities in the base is the main reason why they crack. And then making sure that you're buying a good quality aquarium from someone that's careful enough to actually prepare the surface properly and use good quality silicons, and to ensure that it is absolutely and totally dead flat, so there's no pressure points on the aquarium, so the aquarium over time won't give way, or for the center bridges to drop. If you do lose your center bridge, the center bridge falls in. What I mean by the center bridge is this thing here. That's the center bridge, and that holds the aquarium tight. A lot of the open top tanks like the Cades don't have them, and that's because they use extra thick glass and they get away without it. But your average tank has got a center bridge, and then if the center bridge does drop, it's important you take the water out of the tank, you clean the surface properly and reattach that center bridge, and then level the aquarium to ensure that it's completely level before you fill the tank up. Anyway, if you've got any experience with what I'm talking about, or any tips on leveling your aquarium, just put a little note down the bottom of the aquarium, down the bottom of this video. But at the end of the day, choose who you buy your aquarium from carefully, and ensure that you're responsible for leveling it dead flat.